In November 2013, David, Lindsay and Hilary had an opportunity to visit the Ashford Common and Elim Partnership School in Bangalore. The school is based in a small house, or what we might describe as a hut in the UK. As we drove towards the school, every eye seemed to be watching us. Muslims, Hindus, Roman Catholics and others all lived together in this cramped, filthy and deprived area. The streets were filled with rubbish piles, stray dogs, cows, chickens and skinny goats. Tiny makeshift homes, made from either plastic or corrugated iron, housed whole families. Women were washing pots or clothes on the concrete doorsteps. Some were cooking outdoors on open fires. We sensed the danger of just being white Europeans among the local population. There were many children who were not often valued. Most were dirty and often barefoot. Sometimes mothers took the youngest ones begging to raise more money than she would alone. The children spent their time rummaging through piles of rubbish for empty bottles and anything else to sell for a few rupees. This area is close to an unfenced railway line where the children collect things thrown from passing trains. Their lives are fraught with the dangers of the railway. The teachers told us that many fathers are alcoholics and often violent. The children copy this behaviour and smoke and drink alcohol at very young ages, quickly getting addicted. The older ones are often used in prostitution to earn money. There seems no hope, no future, and no help from the government. But the Elim Full Gospel Church, together in partnership with Ashford Common Baptist Church, was stepped in to provide a safe place for these children. They're welcomed 5 days a week in the mornings at the hut to learn discipline, hygiene, English, simple maths, and about Jesus. Their ages range from 5 to 13 years. The children are also encouraged to sing and dance, and just to enjoy being children. The school is staffed by 2 teachers. One is sponsored by a member of Ashford Common Baptist Church, and the other is unpaid. Each day the children are given a simple meal of rice and some form of protein, which many take home to share. Each portion costs 60 to 80 pence. The room is approximately 40 square feet. It's rented by the church for £30 a month from a landlord who has retained a key. The teachers have sometimes arrived to open the school to find him asleep on the floor. They cannot leave anything of value at the hut, as it's likely to be stolen. The children often arrive in dirty or torn clothes, so the church collect clothes to be given out to them. Some of the children are intelligent and just need encouraging. Over time, 4 or 5 children have been moved from the partnership school to the Providence School, which is also run by the church. Here they receive a proper education through sponsorship, which gives them a future they would never have had. As we were preparing to visit the school, we were told that some of the children had not been well. They had mumps or dengue fever. We prayed and went anyway on 2 visits. As we arrived, the 30 children were shouting "Hello!" and grabbing at our hands and our ankles. The noise was amazing. They calmed down though, and 4 girls sang a song. They all sang more songs to us about Jesus. They were raucous, but happy. We had taken a small bag containing notebook, pens, pencil and stickers for each child. This was quite overwhelming for them. It was probably more than they would receive in a whole year. We helped them put the animal stickers in their notebooks. One of the smaller girls looked at the cover of her book and saw the brown and white hand joined together in partnership. She looked at her brown arm, then at Lindsay's white arm, and then took a look at the book again. She smiled, pointing at their different arms, then shook hands with Lindsay. We then helped them to plant cress seeds, which they would be able to harvest and eat in a week's time. It was time to go, and they were struggling to get in the queue for lunch. Each child received chocolate that we had brought for them from England. On our next visit, there were 10 more children, and again a raucous welcome. About 38 children in a room suitable for 15. They calmed down and sang songs to us. They'd all brought their books back, and we gave them stars to stick in. David told a story using 2 bears, which they listened to well. We left the bears with them to be cuddled when the children felt sad, or for another story. Lindsay told them the story of Joshua and Jericho. We had crepe paper again and used this for a wall for the city, tried to get the children inside and get others to walk around the outside. This didn't quite work as there was so little space. It resulted in pushing and shoving, but Lindsay burst into a song. Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, which they joined in with. We gave them a coloured egg shaker each, which they enjoyed a lot. It was time for lunch, and they queued up. Lindsay gave out chocolates, a couple of pens, and a blessing. Many of them wanted to shake our hands and have their photographs taken. Many of them would not have seen a white person before. One boy, about 11 years old, welled up with tears when Lindsay gave him the pens. He'd never owned pens before, and now he was like a proper schoolboy. Many of the resources we've taken in the past are still being used. Although exhausted, we were privileged to have been briefly involved in God's work to provide a safe place where each child is loved and valued. We invite you to pray with us for each child, the teachers, and for a larger, permanent place for the school. The vision is to have all the charitable trust work under one roof on a new site, in God's way and in God's time. Maybe you'd like to make a donation towards the work amongst the children. A few pounds turns into many rupees. The price of a newspaper in the UK will buy lunch for one of the street children. Let's work together and give them a chance.